This volume might be too loud because the phone's right there on the laptop. Good morning, YouTube world. So right now, it's my second day of videos on the training that I am doing for this new job. I do start on Monday. I went to do 7 hours yesterday online. Just watching videos, I went from um, to dining kind of like courses on videos, and then I went from the third one to fire, and then everything else comes from back injuries to um, sexual harassment and everything like that. So I've done 8 already, and this is my ninth. So I got to keep going because the minutes are rolling and they can't see that I stopped because I'm getting paid for it.
Water. As part of a healthy environment, people have the right
So
to
right now
access
I'm on
clean
resident
water.
rights in
This
in
includes
assisted
water
living.
for cleaning, bathing, drinking, hand
I
washing.
wanted to kind of
The
show
water must meet
that I'm
government
not at
standards
work. I
as
haven't
set by
been
the
at
Safe
work
Water
last
Act.
Friday. It's a little process, when from the last time I said I had got hired on the spot. So basically, it comes from doing a drug screening. Um, Shit, I'm supposed to press on something else. Yeah, so I don't even care how I look like. Yesterday I did 7 hours from 12 o'clock, 12:30 to 4:30, 4 hours straight. And then I had a 1 hour break, and then from 5:30 to 8:30, that was another 3 hour. Well, actually, it was 4 and 3. So I asked them if I could do it early as possible so I can get off this thing. So I have one right now from 8 to 12, and there's 17 modules. People receiving care have the right to a healthy environment, water, air.
Air. People have the right to air that is free of infectious particles, those transmitted by respiratory infections. Air
Yeah, I
should
took my
also be
little
free
TB
of
test on
toxic
Friday.
particles, such as smoke. To
And
maintain
then,
this
oh,
right,
Friday I did
people with
everything, my
respiratory
TB test,
infections
my
may be
drug
required to wear
screen, and
masks to
my
prevent the
physical
transmission of
exam.
disease.
I mean,
Your
my physical,
organization must
my
develop
physical exam,
policies
my
regarding
physical.
people who
So
smoke.
I did 3
The
of those on
policy must
Friday,
state
and
where
then
they
they
can and
looked at my
cannot
arm
smoke.
on Monday, and then it took Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday I was waiting, and then Wednesday they sent me an email to do this training. Well, actually, Wednesday I had like 2 days off. I was like waiting like impatiently because I'm like, hold on, I ain't getting paid for Fridays. I ain't getting paid for Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And I was like, I'm thinking Tuesday, I'm already going to be in some type of like explanation of like what I should do. They didn't give me my I-9 and W-4 until Wednesday. And then they told me to do the training on yesterday, and right now I'm still on it today. So I got to get everything done by tomorrow afternoon. So basically there's 17 modules, and I've already done 8, so I have 7 more to go.
Food. People have the right to food that is safely prepared
Hi.
and stored to prevent the spread of foodborne illness. Anytime you are handling food, you should follow the rules of basic food safety
So
as
basically
outlined by
anything
the
that's
Food and
with
Drug
food,
Administration,
or
or
resident
FDA.
rights in assisted
This
living with
includes the
food,
need for hand
I
washing.
already know
Before
about.
handling
I
food,
just kind of just let
after
the
using
videos
the
play,
toilet,
and then just let them
anytime
have
your hands
me go
become
through the final
soiled.
exam that
Food
goes from like
requires
5
storage
questions to
at the
10
right
questions, and
temperature.
then
Food that should be
they let you
refrigerated
retake it
should
if
not
you
be
don't
left at room
get it,
temperature.
but there's only 2 tests that I had to retake it twice, or retake on the second one. So there was 2 of them that I didn't complete out of Um, how many do I have left? So a retake. And it was only like a question that out of one question I got wrong out of five. So they basically say that that's like, I don't know if it was two questions I got wrong or something like that, but if it's two questions you got wrong out of five, they're gonna make you do it again. So I've been home all week, but I got paid yesterday, okay? But Monday
This
it
right
was kind of
also
like,
involves having
what's
enough
going
food to
on with
maintain
everything?
proper
You know what I'm
nutrition and
saying? Y'all
health.
got my little
Not
test
only is the
result from my
amount
TB
important,
test,
but the
and
type of food must
drug
promote
screening kind of
nutrition
takes a
and health.
while. I guess
A balanced
it
diet
took
must
3
be
days for
served.
them to
Special diets
get
must be
it.
available, such as a no added salt
And
diet.
yeah, I look at days ticking for me, and I didn't get paid for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But yesterday I got paid for 7 hours, and today I'll get paid for another 7 hours. Tomorrow I'll get paid for 3 hours. And then I go to my part-time job at 3 p.m.
Sanitation. A healthy environment is also
and
a clean and
Sunday,
sanitary
but I also
environment.
do have to
People have the
pick
right
up my
to
paycheck
adequate
from my
sanitation.
old job in
This
Pleasanton
includes the removal of human waste
tomorrow
and the proper
after I'm
cleaning of
done with the
surfaces
rest
and
of my
linens.
training course videos at 12. So I have 3 hours in between to kind of do some things for myself and before I do my
Follow
part-time
your
job.
facility's
So I'm
policy
kind
on
of planning a
infection
little bit
control.
ahead to kind of
Some
like,
basic things
you
the
know,
environment clean include keeping surfaces clear of
because
clutter,
I've been home
wiping down
all
surfaces
five
with
days.
disinfectant, emptying trash bins, emptying linen hampers,
Infection
perform
control. There's a
hand
lot of
hygiene
infection
often,
control on
keep
these
surfaces
videos.
and linens clean by using
Sanitization.
hot
Well,
water,
just
detergents,
for
and disinfectants.
when it comes to the food handling. But yeah, where's everybody talking over here? Fuck, I keep pressing that. Oh, shelter. Okay, so a healthy environment. First of all, people receiving care have the right to a healthy environment. Water, food, air, sanitation, and shelter.
Shelter. People have a right to shelter that keeps out unwanted weather. The shelter must also provide adequate lighting, electricity, and air circulation. Buildings
Y'all
must
looked at
adhere
my
to the
content title.
Americans with Disabilities Act by
On
allowing
my way
people
to
with
comfortable
disabilities who
places.
use
You
assistive
understand?
devices to have
Shit,
equal
right here, I
access
don't
to the
have to
building.
deal with,
The right to adequate shelter and healthcare is protected by national standards
how do you
and building
say,
codes for healthcare settings.
people slaving. The nursing and rehabilitation is like almost kind of like a slaving job because all you're doing is running around there like crazy. Now, this one is like almost kind of like you're being a waitress, but you're being a waitress in an assisted living place. Kind of don't want to do too much with that.
Safe environment. Your facility must strive to protect the right to a safe environment. The building must have emergency procedures in place in the event of
I could
fire,
pick up my paycheck
tornado,
today, an hour
floods,
break, and
other
it takes an
disasters.
hour for me to,
Routine
it takes
fire
35
drills
minutes,
and other
excuse
disaster
me, for me
drills
to
are
get
key to
to
staying prepared.
the old job place in Pleasanton and go pick that up, and then it takes another 35 minutes to get back. But while on that hour, I got to get right back on this training. So, and
Hallways
I
and
have a
emergency
scheduled time
exits
to do a
must be
training,
kept
so
clear so people can escape
you
during
know,
a
it's written
fire.
down so they know what
Walkways
time I'm
must be
starting and
kept
what time I'm
clear
supposed
of
to end
ice
and
and
what time
snow to
I'm
prevent
supposed to
falls.
restart from
You
the
can
hour
protect
break.
this right by following your
I do not know
organization's
what you are
emergency
saying,
procedures.
GTA 5. You're talking username as English, and then you're typing in your own language. Now, what do you think
Freedom from
when I
abuse,
speak is
neglect, and
obviously
exploitation.
something that
A healthy and safe environment includes the right of people to be free from
you
abuse,
hear.
mistreatment, and neglect. This can include coercion, misappropriation of property, seclusion.
Let me clear
No
my
one has
wings.
permission to abuse, mistreat, or neglect any person. This includes anyone working in a healthcare organization, family members, and volunteers.
Mm.
Abuse. Abuse is any act or failure to act that causes physical injury, mental injury, unreasonable confinement, intimidation, punishment. These actions result in physical harm, pain, or mental anguish. In this definition, willful means that the person must have acted deliberately. It does not mean that the person must have intended to inflict harm.
Damn it. I gotta go through all
Neglect. Neglect means the failure to provide goods and services to a person that are necessary to avoid physical harm, pain, mental anguish, emotional distress. Exploitation. Exploitation is taking advantage of someone for personal gain. This can be through intimidation, threats,
Mhm.
manipulation, coercion.
Coercion.
Exploitation often comes in the form of financial exploitation. Financial exploitation of older adults may include prize scams, phony donations, and phony magazine subscriptions. These scams are often used to obtain financial information, such as banking account numbers. One of the most common ways is through telemarketing, where the caller obtains the person's financial information fraudulently. Exploitation.
Oh shit, what the hell?
Exploitation is taking advantage of someone for personal gain.
I just
This can be
pressed on
through
that. What am I
intimidation,
doing?
threats, manipulation, coercion. Exploitation often comes in the form of financial exploitation. Financial exploitation of older adults
They
may
go by
include prize
colors, so
scams,
I thought it
phony
was one
donations,
that I haven't
and phony
pressed on
magazine
yet.
subscriptions. These scams are often used to obtain financial information, such as banking account numbers. One of the most common ways is through telemarketing, where the caller obtains the person's financial information fraudulently. Misappropriation of property. Misappropriation of property is the deliberate misplacement or wrongful use of a person's belongings or money without their consent. This use may be temporary or permanent. This can include using their television or phone, attempting to cash a check, taking money or a person's property for your gain or another's gain, wearing a person's clothes or jewelry. Neglect.
Oh my god,
Neglect
I
means the
accidentally hit
failure
on
to
that
provide
shit.
goods and
What the
services to a
hell,
person
man?
that are necessary to avoid
I'm supposed
physical
to be
harm,
like on my way.
pain, mental anguish, emotional distress.
There's one more. Seclusion.
Seclusion. Seclusion is defined as keeping a person from social contact with others, including
Excuse me.
friends,
Thank you for the 3
family,
likes.
or even other people in general. Seclusion
I'm on
or
subject
isolation
mode
is
too.
cruel. No one should ever have to endure seclusion in a healthcare
Good
setting,
morning,
including assisted living
Buck
communities.
mode
Seclusion
2.
includes locking someone in a room.
Yeah, you
It
know,
also
training
includes withholding
online,
assistive
looking at
devices that are
videos and doing
necessary
5
to
questions
interact
still
with
gets you
others.
paid
Taking
for
someone's
me
walker when they
lying
rely
on
on
this
it to walk is an example of
bed
seclusion.
of mine and looking at this laptop while I'm still trying to gain some type of something on my YouTube too. You know, you understand? Because it's been a few days, you know what I'm saying? Yesterday I did
If
7
you
hours
suspect
of
abuse,
this. I
mistreatment,
just kind of
or
didn't want to
neglect, you must report it immediately.
show
Your facility must
of
take immediate steps to prevent further abuse, mistreatment, or neglect. The
This shit
facility
is
must
training.
conduct a thorough
It's
investigation.
online. You watch
You
these
may also
videos. I'm
contact your
getting a
state
new job.
ombudsman
I
to report
start
the mistreatment of
doing
older
my
adults.
actual physical job on Monday. Um, Today's Friday. Thank God it's
Restraints.
Friday. Happy Friday,
All
you
people
guys.
have the right to be
And
free from restraints. This includes both
yeah, I'm thinking
chemical
about my
and
money. You
physical
understand?
restraints that are used for
Shit.
discipline or
I already
convenience.
lost.
Restraint use is associated with multiple
Well,
types of
I
injuries and
worked
even
two
death.
days out of my days
Restraints must
off.
only be
So
used as a
basically, I
last
worked
resort
7 days
or
and
when
seven
medically
days the
necessary for
last
the treatment of a medical condition. To
this week
protect
right
this
here. You
right,
see
you
this?
must
See
understand the
everything that you
specific
see that has
circumstances in
something
which
written
restraint
on
use
this
is
shit.
allowed in
That's
your
when I
care
was
setting.
working,
You
except
also must
for
follow the guidelines for proper
this
restraint use.
July 18th.
Many healthcare
That's when
organizations are implementing a restraint reduction program
uh
to reduce
oh
the
wait, I
use of
quit my
restraints.
job on July
Many facilities have
17th,
become completely restraint
but
free.
I worked on the days off, which was supposed to be my days off on July 7th and July 14th. On Mondays, I'm supposed to have at least one day off out of 6 days. And I worked all 7 motherfucking days. You understand? From July 1st all the way to July 17th, I worked every day. So 17 days straight. You understand? Now, July 18th, shit. I got hired on the spot while I was still working at somewhere else. That's why I try to put my content to where I say, "Oh, it's a quick live." I just came from doing an interview early in the morning before I even was heading to my full-time job in Pleasanton. Restraints. Yeah, so basically I got a phone interview on the 15th. The 16th I got hired on the spot. And then 17th, I said, man, I told myself, I said, I know I'm supposed to be leaving this
Your
place, right?
organization can reduce the use
So
of
I'm like, how am I
restraints
gonna
by
leave this place?
implementing
But even
general
though
strategies,
they're
such
giving me
as
all this bullshit,
creating a
like
relaxing
they ready
environment,
to,
providing
say
close
you got
supervision
one
when
more, how do you
cases
say,
such as
written
hearing
notice,
aids,
of
visual
some
aids,
type of
and
complaint
mobility
at work or
devices,
whatever. You get one
using
more, get out of
devices to
here,
help ensure
because you get
proper
three.
positioning.
I had two for over some dumb ass bullshit. First one was because of not an altercation, but just a person was trying to talk to me in some type of way where she was trying to laugh and say, "Oh, do you need help?" Because she was trying to say like I was opening the can slowly and shit like that. Even though I'm a very fast, person that knows how to use tools, is just that I just started working there. So it was in the very beginning of that job place. So of course, they're gonna try and look at you kind of funny. I don't think she was really, really trying to laugh at me. She was just laughing at how much time I was kind of taking, you know what I'm saying? Because I sometimes do watch YouTube. They don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to be my business. I was the kind of like the second person that was the oldest female in there. The
Dignity and respect. All people have the right to
the
be treated
Filipino
with
lady was
dignity
the
and
first
respect.
chef. That's the
Under this
eldest
right,
that was there for
people are
20
entitled to be
years.
treated in a proper
She was
manner.
like 70
To
some,
uphold
moving
this
hella
right,
slow.
a facility must
And then I
accommodate
was
a
the second
person's needs
oldest, and then
by
all the other
providing
girls was all,
person-centered care.
like a year right below me, and then everybody else was younger.
Person-centered care is an approach to
Um,
care that views people holistically.
so I said, how am I
This
do
care
the
helps
second
people
one
achieve
because
their
was
highest
off
level
of
of well-being.
a food that was
Each
on my
person is
arm. I was
unique
cutting,
based on these
it laid on
factors:
my arm, a cantaloupe,
cultural, social,
right? I
religious.
was chopping. It
Each
was on
facility
video.
should provide care that
Well,
respects the
you guys
whole
could see
person.
me doing what
You
kind
can
of
respect a
prep that
person's
I do is
preferences when it comes to
I
daily
cut
activities.
fruits, and I
Knowing the
manage
person
cottage
you care
cheese,
for is an important component of respect and
sandwiches,
person-centered care.
fruits and stuff like that.
Ask
But you
yourself
have to
these
do it in
questions.
a
Does the
timing.
person prefer to play
So while I
cards
was
or
trying to
watch
pick up the
television?
fucking fruit and throw it
Does
in
the
the
person
container,
prefer to eat a
the
large
fruit fell on
breakfast
my
and a
arm and
small
I ate it
dinner?
off my arm, and the
Does the
manager
person
seen that.
prefer to
So
do
she's like,
independent
we
activities
just
or group
got through
activities?
with state
Does the
and
person prefer a
inspection and
shower in
all
the
that
morning
shit or
or at
whatever.
night?
So don't do that. So she wrote me up for the second time. So one more gets me out of there. I was like, what the fuck is this? Me having some type of disagreement with a Honduran girl, and then the second one would had to be about sanitization, sanitation from me not. I was wearing gloves and it was on my arm, so if I ate it off, like it was right here, and I ate it off my arm, I went like this, and she didn't like that. She was like, "That's what I'm saying." She's like, that can lead to cross contamination and shit like that. Take off your gloves. Throw it. I already knew that. You ain't supposed to eat off of the gloves and put it directly in your mouth while lips is touching your gloves. No, it was my lips touched skin to skin, and that was on my arm. But that's something that I shouldn't be doing. But she couldn't really see me do that because my back was, fully in the back. Like I was this, and she was like 20 feet away. She couldn't even see me. So she couldn't even tell. She's just a dumb bitch. That's all. African lady. She just a hater. That was a fat hater. Like African dude that was a chef, was saying I had a nice figure, I had a nice shape and all this stuff, looking at me up and down, and she's this big ass fat girl. She has some big ass titties, but she fat. You know what I'm saying? And
Treating
but
people with
men love
respect
the
and
fat.
dignity is especially
Men
important
love the
when
fat too,
communicating.
whatever. But
Speak politely.
yeah, so I was like,
Call
I knew
people
I
by
had
the
to do
name they
something and
wish
get
to
the
be
fuck
called
out of
as
here, but I know I
indicated in their
can't
plan
leave
of
out of
care.
here trying to
Some
get
people may prefer to be
terminated.
addressed
I said,
using
I'm
a
gonna
formal title,
keep
such as
working
Mrs.
until I
Redding
get another
or Dr.
job.
Sanders.
So
Others
I
may
made it
prefer you
through.
use their first name or a
Um,
nickname. Do not use names such
right
as
when I got
Honey or
hired
Sweetheart.
on the
If
spot
you're unsure how
with
to
a,
address a
a
person, ask
more
them.
comfortable. What's up, straight out of Memphis? I know you be changing your motherfucking. I swear to God. I swear to God. I was looking at my old video and I said, damn, she put South hated most blogger 22. I said, damn, I already know who that is. Shit. But you make it so small so people could just like kind of click on your shit and you know what I'm saying, see who you are and stuff like that. I ain't got to really
Self
trip off of
esteem
this
and
little
self worth are
introduction.
signs of dignity.
General
Some
rights
ways
in
to
all
boost a person's
healthcare
self esteem and
organizations.
dignity
It's
include
something I've been through
promoting
several times
independence with
before. I've
activities
been
of daily
working in the
living,
healthcare
being respectful of private
facilities or
space
even
and
in the
property,
communities because
letting people
there's
do
two
things for
kinds.
themselves,
There's a facility
offering
and
choices
there's a
in daily
community.
activities.
So facilities are y'all making me laugh. But yeah, I'm proud of myself for doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? I go out and I grind. I try to, I don't need to focus on um um like handling food is the easiest thing. All you got to do is just remember, don't put your hands near your face or scratch your head before you touch anything while there's a whole lot of people around you. You know what I'm saying? You just always got to wash your hands before you go to work, or them seeing you do that before you start touching shit. And then it flows from there. And then you just got to do the whole respect thing with elders, because elders, they can be in their out of state mind, being under medication and stuff like that. So it's more like when you're in a community, just like how I am on my Saturday and Sunday job. So
Helping them be
basically
involved
I'm a
with friends and
server at
family,
a
providing care with empathy,
um,
understanding, and compassion,
assisted independent
learning
living.
and sharing their
Well, it's
personal
like
history,
assisted
using
independent
kind
memory
courtesy,
care,
such as greeting someone
um,
and making direct eye contact.
and stuff like that. They have four. So it's independent memory care, assisted, and then there's one more. Um, but then so I'm trying to continue it on because facilities is more of a nursing and rehabilitation. That right there carries more of um eyes open on everything, eyes open on like constant, seeing EMTs, ambulances coming in and out, dropping patients in and out. People, you could hear people shouting. It hurt, stuff like that. You hear elder people repeating on saying what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying, but they're kind of like, saying a word. I don't know, calling somebody or help me, and then there's really nothing wrong with them. There's a lot of med techs, medical assistants, LVNs, CNAs, um, private nurses, all up and down those nurse rehabilitation centers, and It's a constant move. I've already showed a few of
Access
my
to medical
lives, me
treatment.
doing that.
All
And
people
then
in
me being in
healthcare
the kitchen
settings
and
have a
dish room
right
is
to the
still labor.
prevention and
So
treatment
that's
of
where the hard
diseases.
work comes in
They
for a
have a
little
right
pay
to
that I do.
quality medical
You know what I'm
treatment
saying?
by
A lot of people
competent
tell me that I
licensed
should
healthcare
just
providers.
be a
People have a
caregiver
right to know the
and you can
names
make
and
a
contact
whole lot of
information
money
of their
doing
healthcare
one-on-one
providers.
with an
No
elder.
person shall be denied
It
emergency
is
medical
true.
treatment due to an
This
inability
lady
to pay.
upstairs, she makes
People have a right to
3,700
any medical
uh
treatment needed to maintain life.
um
if your
2 weeks.
facility
So
cannot
basically she
provide the
makes
medical
eight
services,
thousand
it must
dollars in
provide a
1 month.
referral to another healthcare organization
Um
that offers those
so she
services.
makes 37 in one paycheck and then another 37. So that's like around 8,000. I kind of look at it.
Free from discrimination.
All these people in here are
Discrimination
all
is
dealing with
treating a
medical.
person or
The
group of
lady
people
upstairs,
differently from
she
another
got me into
person or
human
group.
resources in the
Every person has
administration
the right to
office,
be
and I
free
became
from
something.
discrimination.
You
In
know, I was a
healthcare,
clerk.
this
I
means
was a
that everyone should
clerical
have equal
administration,
access to
human
quality
resources.
healthcare regardless of
When
their
y'all used to see me in
race, color, or
2023,
national
I have a
origin,
video wearing a
sex including
green
pregnancy, gender
teal lab
identity,
coat,
and sex
being in front of the,
stereotyping,
being behind a
sexual
computer. And
orientation,
those was really my first
age,
lives that I was really doing,
disability status,
saying I was going to work.
religion,
And I think Straight Outta
socioeconomic
Memphis knows
status,
that. Um,
diagnosis, the severity of
Other
the
than me being
condition
in my
or
old
payment
apartment house,
source,
she used to see me because she
ability
knows
to
me from
speak
the very,
English.
very, very beginning of my YouTube channel. She probably started out the same, doing her videos too back in
Decision making and
2019.
choice. Each person has a
But
right to participate in their care by making their own healthcare decisions and choices about their life.
yeah, so
This
people
right includes the
don't forget
right to
about Straight
choose
Outta
their
Memphis
healthcare
because
provider. The right to make
this
decisions
part right
requires
this
that
part
people
right
are
here of
fully
this whole
informed.
saga
It
Filmo
also requires that
Africa
they
thing,
make
there's
their
people in
healthcare
the
decisions
outside
freely and of
looking
their own
in,
will.
but they still got some type of connection, but don't really kind of is not, you know what I'm saying, too attached. It's just we kind of look
Facilities must
back on
communicate
some,
healthcare
if I
information
do
to
something
those they
stupid
serve.
on this
This
stupid
allows the
lives
person to
or
be
something,
informed
but
and
I really
involved in the
more
planning
put it
process.
as an
Everyone
educational
has a
or
right to
interest
ask
of
a
some
qualified
people to
healthcare provider
look in the
questions about their
background or what
care.
I'm making in the
To do
kitchen, you
so,
know what I'm
people
saying? Or
must
if
be
me
given the
talking
name
about
and contact
somebody.
information of their primary healthcare provider.
Facilities must communicate healthcare information to those they serve. This allows the person to be informed and involved in the planning process. Everyone has a right to ask a qualified healthcare provider questions about their care too. So people must be given the name and contact information of their primary healthcare provider.
The
You
person has
understand?
a right to
Yes,
be
let's do
fully
it fast
informed
and let's
about
get
their
the
health
hell
status.
out of
This
here.
includes the following areas:
I read
medical,
faster than you.
functional,
Now hurry your ass
nutritional,
up.
cognitive, oral health, psychosocial.
Gave me some
They
type of
also have the
muscle in
right
my
to be
stomach to
included
say
in
that
the
shit.
development of their plan of care. The plan of care includes both
The right
medical
to
and
request
nursing
changes to the
care,
plan of care.
such as
Okay.
medications and procedures. The person also has the right to request changes to their plan. Free from discrimination.
Oh my God.
Discrimination is treating a person or group of people differently from another. Decision making and choice. Person has a right to facilities must communicate healthcare information to those
Okay, I
they
got
serve.
to
This
forward on
allows the
those because
person
I
to be
already,
informed and involved in the planning
I
process.
guess, listened to them.
Everyone has a right to ask a qualified healthcare
Yeah,
provider
so it's just a
questions
little
about
quick.
their
So I'm gonna
care.
read it. Are you
To
at
do
work now?
so,
No, I'm
people
at
must be
home.
given the name and contact information of their
You
primary
really
healthcare
need to.
provider.
I don't know what the hell you talking about, Buck mode. You
The
said
person has a
to
right to
that
be
or
fully
oh,
informed
okay,
about
okay.
their health status. This includes the following areas:
Well, thank you.
medical, functional,
Thank you for
nutritional, cognitive, oral health,
welcome to the page.
psychosocial. They also have the right to be included in the development of their plan of care. The plan of care includes both medical and nursing care, such as medications and procedures. The
How many minutes do
person
I have
also has
left?
the right to request changes to their plan of care.
Self-determination.
The person has the right to participate in the care planning process, including establishing goals and outcomes of care, the type, amount, frequency and
I
duration
just looked
care.
at it like
Any other factors related to the
when I was
effectiveness
doing
of
so
the
much
plan
hard
of
work
care.
during seven
All
days
of
a
this
week
information must
since
be provided in
December
their
when I was
preferred
working at the
language
nursing
and in terms that the
rehabilitation. Mind
person
you,
will
I still had my
understand.
part-time on Saturday and
Avoid the
Sunday.
use of medical jargon and
Monday through
abbreviations.
Friday,
In
I was
addition, the healthcare
doing it
provider must
because
inform
they
them
needed
of any
somebody.
alternative
And I did
medical
that for
treatments
3 months
available.
straight, 90 days. I was like, how am I supposed to do my laundry? For some reason, I end up doing it some type of way um, on the weekend because
If a
even though I
person
started
refuses
at
advised care,
11
they must be
in the
informed
morning
of
to
any
7,
consequences as a result
I
of their
was like,
refusal.
I need to get the fuck
This
up and do my
education,
laundry.
along with the
So,
person's decision, must be
you know, Saturday,
documented in the
Sunday is the
medical
most
record.
busiest days for laundry, and doing it the earliest possible is going to be busy too. But I managed to do it for
Everyone
three
has the
months,
right to make choices about all
7 days
aspects of their life,
for three
including their
months,
healthcare.
and it was the
They have the
hardest.
right to
Like,
choose activities and
I could
schedules
say
that are
that
consistent with their interests and personal preferences.
it was
They have
so
the right to
like
choose what and when to eat, what
um
to wear, when to get up and go to bed.
how do you
They
say,
have the right
like
to
a shut
refuse
up and
any
do it
medical
kind of
treatment
thing,
they do
but
not
my
want.
body
They may also refuse basic care, such
took
as
too
food or
much
fluids. Healthcare consumers cannot be forced to
that
accept medical treatment or basic care.
I can't believe that I did that. And
If a
I
person refuses
lasted. I
care,
kept
whether it
going.
is
I
medical
went all
treatment
the
or
way to
basic care,
July,
try to identify the reason for
July
refusal.
17.
You may
You
find that the
understand?
reason the person
So
is refusing care can be
my
easily
part-time
addressed.
ain't
For
shit because
example,
it's
if
a
a person is
assisted
refusing
living.
to
You're
eat,
chilling.
maybe they need
I'm
help eating
watching
or their
them.
dentures do
My
not fit
ears are
properly.
open.
If
They
so,
need
you can help
salt.
them with these
They need
barriers.
more coffee.
However, you
They
cannot
need a
force people to
fork. They
eat
need
or
this. They
punish
need
them
that.
for not doing so.
It's easy and it's a slower pace. A
Some
facility
people may
and
be asked to
rehabilitation,
participate in research.
like the nursing and
Participation in any
rehabilitation,
type of
is
research is
more of
always
a
voluntary.
faster,
A person can
constant them
withdraw
fucking
at
with
any
you
time
because they
from a
keep coming
research
to the
study.
door
If a person is
because
asked to
it's their
participate in
assistants
healthcare
that's
research,
coming to the
they have
door
a right to
asking for all the
refuse.
shit. Do you have
They
a
can
turkey
refuse
sandwich? Do you
without
have a
fear
ham
that their
sandwich? Can I
access
get a
to
grill?
quality
Can I
care
give
will
my
be
patient a grilled
compromised.
cheese? All
Any
this
research
shit.
that involves human beings must have
So
clear
I took,
protocols that
yeah,
protect the
and it
health
was
and
right. I'm
privacy of
hoping this
all
is
involved.
a right, right time for me to start on something where I could calm down and
If you are
just
caring for a
have
person that
time
is
more for
participating
myself
in a
and
research
relax and
study
stop
and
with the
they have
moving
questions or concerns
too
about the
fast and
study,
stop moving
direct them to the research
too
coordinator
crazy,
or
you
your
know.
supervisor. If you're
Like right when I
concerned
get
that
to
someone
work,
is
it's
not
just
participating in research
hairnet, like
voluntarily,
clock in,
report this to
hairnet,
your
look at the
supervisor.
menu,
They
get
will
in
report
there,
this to the
wash your
Institutional
hands,
Review
say hi
Board
to
of the
everybody,
organization that
and
is
then I just
conducting the
get straight
research.
to the dish room, start getting my container bins, start getting my little cups. It's just there's no time for no bullshit.
Self-determination. Every person has the right to create advance healthcare directives. Advance directives are legal documents with instructions for healthcare providers. These documents are used if an adult is not able to make decisions about their healthcare.
I know y'all
There are
see me like,
several
okay,
different
she making
types
her
of
money and
advance
stuff like that,
directives.
but
A living
this
will,
is a
for
new job,
example,
so you never know how
identifies
the
the
people
medical
could turn
treatments
out
a
to
person
be.
may
It's
or
new
may
people,
not want
so
in
I
a
have to
particular
just try to
situation.
maintain to
A durable power of attorney
be
for
in a
healthcare
respectful
assigns
type of
someone else the
environment
power
as
to
far
make
as when I
healthcare
come in there,
decisions in the event a
and then
person
just,
is unable to
you
do so
know,
themselves.
have my mind
The
open
Patient
onto
Self-Determination Act
learning,
requires
you know what I'm
healthcare
saying? Because if you're
organizations
not
to
learning,
ask about advance directives upon admission, educate staff about advance directives, give a written explanation of decision-making rights, not discriminate against anyone if they do not
it's
have an
called the
advance
Patient
directive,
Self-Determination
not
Act.
make people have an advance directive.
Okay.
People have the right to designate someone as their representative who can exercise their rights to the extent provided by state law. This representative can be any person chosen by the individual to act on their behalf, any person authorized by state or
Straight out of
federal law,
Memphis said
such
Grand
as a
Rising.
power of
Hello,
attorney,
Shannon.
to act on behalf of the
Yes.
individual, any legal representative or court-appointed guardian. You must treat the decisions of a person's representative as the decisions of the person in accordance with applicable law. Also, you must involve the individual's representative as much as possible in the development and implementation of that person's care plan. For example, involve the decision maker in discussions about medication for harmful behaviors, include alternatives to medication, and provide individualized care. Staff should document involvement with the appointed decision maker, including attempts to contact them by phone or email, as well as talks about the plan of care. Privacy and confidentiality. In healthcare, people have the right to privacy. You must always maintain a person's right to privacy and confidentiality. Physical privacy is important to maintain when providing care. Always discuss the care you will provide and explain to them that you might need to expose a part of their body. When providing care, it is vital to avoid
Let's see how
exposing
much
parts of
battery
the
I got on
person's
this
body
laptop.
that do not require care. You should also avoid exposing more than what is needed. Maintain privacy by closing curtains or doors while providing care or assistance. Ask visitors to step out of the room when you provide care that requires you to expose parts of a person's body. Be respectful of the person's wishes regarding visitors. Some may be okay with having certain visitors present during care, while others may want to have privacy. All you have to do is ask. For example,
Says
if you
chase
are
your
going to help
dreams.
Mrs. Smith with a bed bath and her daughter is present, ask Mrs. Smith what she prefers. Mrs. Smith, I'm going to help you with your bath today and will need to expose parts of your body.
Mm.
Would you prefer for your daughter to stay in the room or leave until after your bath?
Okay.
In addition to physical privacy, all people receiving care have a right to have their health information kept private. Protected health information is any information that has specific identifiers such as name, medical record number, date of birth, address, phone number. Protected health information includes the person's physical or
I'm
mental
watching
health
videos for
condition,
my training.
treatments, payment. This
It's
is
my
a federal
training
law and is known as HIPAA, or the Health
assignments
Insurance Portability and
online that I have to
Accountability Act
watch
of
modules.
1996.
So basically I have like 8 left. So basically there's 17. This is my 8th one. So I think I got like not 9 left or something like that.
All staff, regardless of their role, must help to secure protected health information.
I really want to pick up my paycheck
Protected
at the
health
fucking
information
at the
can
nursing
only
and
be shared for
rehabilitation
treatment,
facility
billing
in
purposes,
Pleasanton
and
today,
healthcare
but they only
operations,
give me an
such
hour
as
break
quality
during this
improvement and
training
surveys. Even in these
watching videos, and
situations, only the
I'm
specific
recorded by what
information
they
needed
gave
should be
me, what time to
disclosed.
start and
People
what time
have
to
the
take
right to
an hour
control their
break,
health
and then what time
information,
I end, and
including
then
the
what time
right
I
to a copy of
restart
their
later on
medical
afternoon.
records.
So
They also
basically I
have the right
restart
to request changes to their medical
at
record. If a person requests a copy of their medical record,
8 to
you should
12,
direct them to your
and then
supervisor.
12 to 1, and then I restart at 1 to 4. Yeah. So I end at 4, and the nursing and rehabilitation closes at 5. So if I could end this at 4 o'clock and I can make it there by 5,
Some
then that's
organizations
fine.
are
I think I'll
required
probably
by
do that.
federal and/or state regulations to allow
Right
individuals
when I'm done with
access to
this,
their
I'll be
medical
ready to go
records
out there to
within
go
a
pick up my
designated
paycheck
time
and
frame.
then head back.
For
So
example,
I'm just
federal
doing a little quick
regulations
live to
require
show you
nursing
guys that what I'm
facilities to
doing
provide
today. I haven't been
access
on
within
for how many
24
days?
hours, excluding weekends and holidays.
My calendar says
Therefore,
chase
you
your
must
dreams.
notify the
That's the
management team
month of
immediately
July.
after this request.
Next month is going to say, okay, I can't really see.
Informing people
Yeah, I'm
of their
starting a new
rights.
job straight out of Memphis
Each
on
person
Monday.
must be
It's
informed
another
about their
assisted
rights.
living,
Your
senior
organization
assisted
must give a written
independent living.
explanation of the rights
So it's
upon
more
admission
of
to the
dining.
resident or their
I'm not going to
representative.
be
They must
a
also be
dietary
given a
aid,
written
how
explanation
I
of the
was in the
organization's
nursing and
policies about
rehabilitation.
how
I'm
they
not going to be a
implement these
dietary aid
rights.
no more.
This
Do
notification must be given in a
dining
format and
as
language
a
the person
server.
understands.
Same thing,
Your organization
same
must also inform
dealing with food in the
individuals before
kitchen, but
admission,
not as
during admission,
fast.
and throughout
Not
their
as
stay the
fast running
cost of
around,
services. This includes
constant,
what they will
you
need to
know,
pay out of
just
pocket. They should be
the
told if
nursing
there
and
are any
rehabilitation
changes to
facility is
coverage
too
or the
fucking
cost of
much. It's too
services.
much labor, it's too much slaving, and I'm not with that. I'm more into the dining, relaxing. I make you feel comfortable while you eat, while you are dining on your table. I assist the seniors, and that's what that is. The nursing and rehabilitation, I see 5 people in one kitchen all fucking 8 hours, and that's it. It's like I'm in jail. It's like you're in jail. You don't go, like, you have a 30-minute break, but that's on you, and that's it.
Exercising their
These,
rights.
you can
Each
walk
person can
around,
exercise
you
their rights
know, the whole
freely and to the
community.
extent
It's
possible.
a building,
This
it's a senior
includes those
living,
rights given as a citizen of the U.S. Your organization
and you
cannot
just
punish,
chill.
retaliate, interfere with, or discriminate against individuals because they exercise their rights. Additionally, you cannot persuade someone to act a certain way by using force or threats. Your organization must facilitate and support the implementation of these rights as much as possible. Review. What actions protect a person's rights? Upon request, a healthcare provider explains alternatives to a proposed treatment. After documenting, you log off the electronic medical record. You have a suspicion of
What actions
neglect that
protect a
occurred on
person's
a
right
weekend.
upon request of
You
healthcare
wait
provider
until
expense?
Monday to report it to your supervisor. You spend the same amount of time helping a person to eat regardless of race or religion. You thoroughly wash your hands to prevent
I
the
think it's
spread of
that one.
infection.
Person's rights. Okay,
This protects a person's right to make
I
decisions
got that
and
right.
choices regarding treatment.
Select all that apply. Okay,
This protects a person's right to privacy and confidentiality.
I got that one. Yeah. Okay.
To ensure a
Oh
safe
no, I didn't
environment,
get that
you
one.
should immediately report suspicions of abuse or neglect to your supervisor.
Oh, because it says you wait until Monday to report it to your supervisor. You're supposed to report it right away.
As part of the right of access to medical treatment, you should spend the same amount of time helping people to eat regardless of their race or religion. Thoroughly washing your hands to prevent infection is summary. Each person who
Okay.
receives health care is entitled to certain rights. Be aware of these rights and be respectful of them throughout the workday. All employees of healthcare organizations
Oh,
are
I know.
responsible
I
for
remember
respecting a
last time when you
person's
was on
rights when they provide care.
you was on a live, you was in
Consider
front of a
each of the
computer
general
too. Well, you
rights
was
that you learned
behind a
about as
computer
well as the
and you was
rights
doing
that are
something. I don't know
specific
what
to
you
your
was
care
doing, but that
setting.
was a while back, months and months and months ago. And you be deleting some of your lives too. But okay, straight out of Memphis. Thank you for stopping through my page. Thank you for that like.
Section 3. Rights
Continue,
of residents in
continue,
assisted living
continue to
communities.
study and get it. You understand? Okay.
Specific rights.
Yeah, I'll probably just,
In
I
addition
don't
to the
know.
many general rights discussed
I
in
know I'm gonna go
previous
live
sections,
later on just to kind
residents
of,
in assisted living
show you
communities
guys
are entitled to
uh
several more rights.
the
It is
people who
important to
I
remember that
will
each state has specific
lastly
requirements
probably
regarding
say,
resident rights in an assisted living community.
probably share
Be sure to
contacts
refer
with
to your community's
at the
policies and
facility
procedures for
if
more
they want my
information.
number, or if I need their number for references. I didn't need any of the references, but I still did use 2 of them. Well, actually, I only used one of them. That was the assistant manager. She's a Filipino girl. Even though she had disagreements on certain things of what she didn't like about me, I still used her because she was an assistant manager. She would probably explain
The
certain
right to be
things about
notified of
what I
changes.
do in skills and
Residents and their
experience.
legal representatives or
But I
designated
don't think she
family
was going to
members
do too
should be
harsh
notified
about
of certain
what was going
changes.
on because, like I
This
said,
includes changes in
I had a
policies and
written up.
services, changes in the
The first
resident's health
one was
condition,
because of a Honduran
changes in
girl
treatment,
trying to laugh
decisions
at
to
me
transfer or
because
discharge,
I was
change
opening
in
up,
apartment,
big
change in
old
rights
jars
under
of
state
like
law,
cans.
changes in smoking
And she
policy.
asked me, she's like, "Do you need
Changes
help?"
in
And
rates
then I
or
was like, if I
services
needed
must be
help, I would have
communicated to the
asked
resident
somebody.
or their
So I
representative
guess
before
she
the
took
change is
that and
implemented.
she told on
If a
somebody, like she
change in
told on
treatment
me
is
about
needed,
that.
the
And
organization must
uh,
contact the person's healthcare provider,
then,
the individual, and or their
I
representative.
was like, what's going on type stuff. So yeah, they take things very sensitive or whatever. So I didn't like
The
that.
following health changes must be
So I said, let
reported
me
to the
just
resident's healthcare
try and
provider
get some
and
type
their
of
designated
experience out of
family
here
member
more
or
than three
legal
months.
representative.
Because doing
Pain,
dietary aid,
changes in food
you do
or
need
fluid
a year
intake,
experience skills to
changes in
get
the
to a
condition of a
higher.
feeding tube, decline in function,
It's not good
decline in
on your record
cognition,
to only do 3 months.
incontinence
So I
pattern
did
changes,
7 months, and that's good. That's good enough. 7 months is
worsening mood,
almost to
unplanned
getting to
weight
a
loss,
year.
begin use of
And
restraint,
for
new
you to not
condition,
get terminated, they'll
unstable
say, "Well,
disease,
you
pressure
didn't get
injury,
terminated. What happened?
decline in
Like,
their
why did you
overall
leave?"
condition.
You can always explain that. Oh, right on. Thank you, Straight Out of Memphis. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, so my calendar says chase your dreams.
Transferring a resident to a new area or apartment can
Even
be
if you have to
stressful.
give $1 to
The
somebody,
facility must be sensitive to the stress this may
blessings kind
cause
of
by
like
explaining
still,
the reason for the move. The person's medical record must include all changes, such as the
it
date
still
and
holds on
reason
you,
for the
you know what I
change.
mean? Or it still will
Documentation should
come.
include the names of caregivers who were
Even
involved
if
in
it's
the
$1
move.
to somebody or
The medical
whatever. I'm
record
not
should
talking about my
reflect that the
Cash App. I'm
resident was
talking about
informed
in
of the move.
general. Okay. Because you looking for something, but you can also give too. And that's just a part of human, you know.
The right to
So we
manage
still have to remember
finances.
these things.
The
It's
resident
not
has the
just
right to manage their
we live
finances.
on a daily
The
life. We
resident
have to
also has a
remember what
right
kind
to
of
ask the
people
facility to manage their personal
still have to deal with
finances.
certain
This
things
includes
that,
managing
they
their
can't get
checking
to
and
or
saving
whatever.
accounts. The facility must obtain
But
and keep
especially
all
like
written authorization to manage the resident's funds. The
we got to look at
authorization must
kids
be
too.
signed by the resident or their legal representative.
Look at my
The
shower cap,
facility
you
may
guys.
have access to sensitive financial information, such as account numbers.
See that girl
The
right there
facility
that's
must
yelling?
protect this information by
See that?
keeping it
See the
private.
one that's mad
The
right there?
resident
See
or their
that?
representative has
Ooh,
the
she about
right
to
to
do
review
something
account
to you.
activity,
She's
such as
biting
withdrawals and
her hand or
deposits.
some shit. The right to manage finances. The resident has the right to manage their finances. Okay. Okay.
Depending on the state where you work, the person who manages the resident's finances may be required to keep a certain amount of cash on hand that is available to the resident for daily expenses.
Mm. Yeah, I'm old.
The right to
I
voice
can hold a certain
grievances.
amount of cash
All residents have the
on
right to voice grievances about their care,
on
including
site.
about the healthcare facility where they live. This right allows each person to voice concerns, voice questions, make
Imagine if I was
complaints
old
to or about staff members,
and I'm in one of these
meet with
places.
and voice
It's just
concerns to
like this.
outside
Like
organizations,
their room
social
over
service
there
groups, legal
is just
advocates,
like an
and
apartment
members of the
complex that
public
has
who visit the
doors.
organization.
And then there's
Be informed of the grievance
one big
process.
dining area and one big kitchen. So I look at my room, I look at this place that I live in, and it's the same type of living situation. They go in their room whenever they want to. They can go wheelchair on out to the hallway, looking up and down the hallway, saying hi to another. Shit, they can get busy with another person in the other motherfucking room for real. It's an independent assisted living. If they're independent, then that's what they can do. But if they're assisted, then they take medications. They have to get um, checked on every certain amount of timing schedule. But yes, this
Examples of
does help me
grievances
on my
include
watch time
concerns
hours.
about the
I
treatment
got
or care
36
received,
hours for
handling of
a
finances,
video that
lost
I
personal
thought
property,
I was supposed to be getting from
violation of
the
rights.
open panel that I
Residents should
did
never
with
fear punishment or
four of the
discrimination for
fellow,
voicing their
well, the
concerns.
three
If
of
a
the fellow
resident reports a
YouTubers who
concern,
I
the community
very much
must promptly
appreciate that
attend
came
to and
through.
resolve the matter.
I do very much appreciate and respect that they did come through um, my StreamYard. You know, that panel did not even fluctuate the hours of my watch time hours because that was on July 21st. It's only July 20 that is showing on my dashboard on my YouTube studio, and it hasn't even counted that day. It's July 20th that's still, and it's what's today? July 25th. So it's 5 days difference. I got 36 hours for I don't know what video. I think it was the videos where I was doing the prick test. Yeah, the prick test and uh when I went to JJ's and Fish and Chicken. So I got 36 hours on those two 3 hour videos because I did 3 hours and 3 hours. So I think I got 36 hours on those two videos. I don't know. But I'm waiting on tomorrow
You can protect this right by
for
making sure
the
that you listen to
StreamYard that
residents'
I did
concerns and
with
grievances.
shout
You
out
need to
to
notify your
Mr. Mob Type,
supervisor or
shout out to
another
Real
member
Life
of the
TV,
management team
or
about these
actually shout out to Mr.
concerns.
Mob Type
Even if you
TV,
can address the concern, you must
Real
still
Life TV,
notify
and One Way
management
Past
of what the
Cool.
concern
Thank
was
y'all.
and how
And
you
I
addressed it.
wonder how many hours I'm gonna get on that. I thought I got 36 hours on that, but I didn't.
Residents and their families also have the
So
right
yeah,
to
so it's kind of
organize and
like,
participate
I
in
guess,
resident
uplifting
and
me
family
to
groups
earning,
or
I guess, more
associations
than
within the
how my
community.
average was.
The group
My
should be
average
open
on
to
getting
all
hours
residents,
on each
staff,
video
visitors,
is
and other
for each
guests can
4 hour
only
or
attend
5
if
hour
invited to do
video,
so
I
by the
get
group.
around
This
23,
group may
22
hold
as the average
elections,
hours for
make
me when I
suggestions to
do 4 hours
management,
or 5 hour
create
videos.
policies and procedures
Um,
that help to improve the
but yeah, this is the
quality of
first time I
life for
had 36
residents.
hours in one night, or yeah, one day.
All grievances and suggestions offered by the groups concerning care and life in the
So most
community
likely,
must be given
hopefully,
prompt
this
attention by management.
1,300
This
kids,
does not
because
mean that the management
I need
must carry out every
1,300
request. The
and
facility should provide a response and the reason for their
64.
response to the group.
Or wait, I just know I need 1,300 and let's just say 60.
The right to be informed of licensure status. Each assisted living community is granted a license by the state in which it operates. There are different types of licenses that a community may have, depending on its status.
I'm gonna do 8 more minutes
For
on here and
example,
then I'm gonna get
there
off.
are regular licenses or probation licenses. The resident has a right to see the community's license. The community can make the license available by posting it in a highly visible location or making it available upon request. If a change in licensure occurs, such as when a license becomes revoked or is on probation, the community must notify the residents and their family members or legal guardians. The right to work or not work. Residents are never required to work for a community. If the resident chooses to work, certain conditions must be met. There must be a documented need for the work. Documentation must specify the type of work, and if it is voluntary or paid. Compensation must be at or above the common rate. The resident must agree to the work conditions. Documentation must address the medical appropriateness of the work assignment. After work begins, the resident may stop working or refuse to work at any time. The right to privacy. In addition to the general privacy rights mentioned in the previous section, residents living in assisted living facilities have other privacy rights. Residents have a right to privacy in communication, visitation, mail, telephone use.
This August says being kind, awesome. Communication, visitation, mail, telephone.
All mail to residents must be delivered promptly and unopened. Outgoing mail
Oh,
must be sent to the Postal Service within 24
my
hours.
overtime pay is the
Be
same
sure
thing
to
as I
deliver
get at the
any
nursing and
mail a resident gives
rehabilitation.
you to the
It's
appropriate
27 hours,
department.
$27
During
per hour
visitation,
if I
the
do
resident
overtime.
has a right to privacy.
And that's the
This
only thing that I'm
entails providing
losing out of
physical
this nursing and
space for the visitor
rehabilitation.
to
There's
talk
no
with the resident
overtime,
without
really not
interference
unless they,
and without being
I
overheard
mean,
by
minutes,
others.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, that ain't shit. You're talking about hours trying to
Each
get.
resident is to have access to a telephone. When using the telephone, the resident is to have privacy so that the conversation cannot be overheard. You are never allowed to listen to residents' telephone conversations. Facilities must also provide access to the use of electronic communication, such as email, video communication, and the internet, to the extent it is available in the community.
Okay.
The right to privacy extends to the photography of residents. If your
Yeah, this is
organization plans to take
the
photographs of a
privacy extends
resident, they
to the
must
photography
consent
of
before those
residents. Yeah.
pictures are
So
taken.
basically, when I first
If
started
the
my
photographs are
part-time
used
job
for
at the assisted
identification
living down the
purposes,
street, like 10
consent
minutes
is
away
not
from my house,
required.
uh, there was one time when I was doing my live and I turned my phone around to look at them so they see my screen, but it's in my waist, and all I wanted them to kind of show was just a little circle of the camera lens, but you could still see this much of coming out my waist. And so somebody said something and then told it back to the kitchen director, and then the kitchen director was like, "Oh, are you did it?" And I was like, "No, no, no, I'm just watching." So you got to say something like that. You can't automatically say yes if they don't really know, because they didn't physically see it, not just only by hearing it
The
from a
right to
resident.
have
You know what I'm
personal
saying?
possessions
So
and
ever since that, I
visitors.
stopped, but y'all
Each
see me
resident
still
should be
doing it
encouraged to have personal
away from them, or
belongings.
I'll hide
The
my
belongings
screen.
must
So
not hamper the
basically,
health, safety,
you
or
just
rights of
gotta
other
have your
residents.
screen not looking
You
like
must
it's
be
a
respectful of
camera. You
personal
have to make
possessions
it have like
regardless of
a
their monetary
screen
value.
multi-window that
You
is
cannot
a
discourage a
solid
resident
color,
from having
which I
personal
used to have my
possessions.
shit as
The
pink.
community must also take reasonable
So
care
that's how
to
you see me
protect the
getting
resident's
away with
property
doing
from loss
lives
or
at
theft.
these places when I
Residents
go
of your
live at
community also
my
have the
old
right to
job
have
and the one that
visitors.
I still do
They
have
have a right to
on my
see these
Saturday and
visitors
Sundays.
at the time and in the manner in which they want. The following scenario demonstrates how you can correctly uphold the visitation rights of a resident.
I don't need to hear
Mr.
every
Hill is
single thing
72
of this
years old.
because it's
He
more
is
of
a
common
widower who has
sense.
been living in your community
And
for a year.
I've gone
His grandchildren take him to
I've gone
church
through
on
this before,
Sundays.
but not
After
exactly the
church,
same
they
thing. This
come
is
back to the
way too
community
longer.
and visit.
14 hours of
One day,
doing
Mr. Hill's
videos.
family members stay in his apartment
They really
until
put
after
7
8:00
hours on top
p.m.
of it
Around
because of
8:30
assisted
p.m.,
living
one of the
from a
grandchildren finds
caretaker.
you and
I
asks
mean, a
you if it is
caregiver
okay if they stay
caretaker.
a little longer. You
Oh yeah, and
respond
rest
by
in peace
telling
to
them
Hulk
that
Hogan.
visitation hours are not
That was kind
restricted
of
for
like,
family members.
damn, 44 years. Well, let's just take out 4 years of my 40 years. Well, let's just, because the first time I ever watched him was when I was 6 years old. So I was 6 years old, and he was my favorite wrestler. So yeah, 40. I mean, let's just say 40 years, round it up. Shit.
It is important to remember that all communities have specific policies regarding visitation, so be sure you are familiar with them. If you ever have a question about visitation rights, be sure to talk to your supervisor. The right to participate in activities. Residents have a right to decide how
One
they
more
want
minute,
to
you
spend
guys.
their free
I'm gonna
time.
get off of here.
The resident may choose to be alone in their apartment, socialize with other residents of the community, attend activities. Residents
What
have the
time is
right to
it?
choose and participate in
Okay.
activities.
Damn.
They should be allowed to participate in social events, religious observances, and even regular physical exercise. They also have the right to be outdoors.
Mm.
Residents have the right to
Oh my
leave the
gosh, my back.
community when they so choose. For example, A resident may choose to leave the community to go
Yeah, so
shopping
this whole
or to
week was
see a
all
movie.
so chill
They
for
can
me.
also
I
return
felt
at any
so
time
like
as long as
relieved
leaving
from
and
leaving a
returning
place
is
where it's
consistent with the community's
too much
rules.
on my body.
The only
I
exception
lost
to this may
five
be residents who
pounds.
live
I'm
in
trying to
memory
gain
care
at
units
least
because of
2 or 3 pounds
dementia.
back on my thighs, okay? I need it back on my chest and I need it on my thighs. I don't need no more weight on my stomach. I don't need that. So
The right
keep
to share an apartment with a
I'm gonna
spouse.
keep trying
Spouses
to
have the right to live in
focus
the same
on
apartment if they are married,
how to
living in the same community,
eat
and they
certain
both
type of
consent to
foods
living together.
to
This
not do
includes
too
same
much. You know what I'm
sex
saying?
marriage.
And I don't do too
The
much.
right to self administer medication.
I
If
spend
the
right
healthcare
on
team
certain
deems it
things
safe,
of just
residents
food,
have the right
and
to
I
self
spend
administer their own
my
medications.
expenses
If a
on
resident
to
self
pay my,
administers medication,
and I
the
don't
interdisciplinary team must
overly
decide where to
like
keep their medications and where they are to be administered. This right is periodically
um
reassessed as a resident's health
you
condition
know, put too
changes.
much. I
If a
mean, just
resident becomes
like even
unable
with
to
gas,
safely
like
administer their medication,
even if
the
I go
community
to a
will
different
then be
gas
in
station
charge of
that's
their
a higher
medicine.
price, I'm not gonna
The
put
decision
fucking
to
$35
self-administer medication
in my
must be
shit or
documented in the care
$50 in my
plan
shit. I'll
within
put
7
as a
days of the
minimum of
assessment.
$20 I get from here to here until I get around to a local area where I'm at, where I have
The
a
right to
lower
refuse
cost of
transfer.
gas
Your organization must notify residents at
price
least
per
30
gallon,
days in
where I do
advance of an
have
apartment transfer
a
or
membership
discharge.
through that
Each
is
resident
worth
has the right
something
to
that
appeal the
could
transfer or
get me
discharge
going, you
and stay in
understand?
their
Because
apartment until a
it's
decision is
just
made
like a
about the
role
appeal.
of play.
Each resident has a right to
It's
not be
just
transferred
managing.
unless it is
It's
necessary
like, how do
medically
you
for
say?
non-payment or
Okay, so
because
it's like
state or
managing.
federal law requires
So
it.
that's how I look at it.
Before transferring a resident from one apartment to another, always be sure the management
And I
team has
don't,
approved
you
this
know,
transfer to prevent a violation of rights.
I don't smoke I don't smoke trees and stuff like that, and I don't
Review.
drink, so
Mrs.
it's kind of
Williams is
like
a
it's
resident
good,
of Sunny Acres Assisted Living
so
Community where
that's
you
why
work.
it's kind
This
of like
evening you
good for me
notice that she
to
hardly touched
put those
any of her
money
food.
into
When you ask her about it,
other
she
people
says,
who I do
"Of
want
course,
to,
it's
see.
as
I
cold
want
as
to see get
ice.
up there.
It's
You
like
know what I
that
mean?
every night. In fact, I would like to file a
We
complaint
all
about
need to
that."
do that. We all need to look at that, of trying to motivate, or not
What
even
should you do?
motivate, to try to
Tell
like
Mrs. Williams you will talk with dietary
have them
services
get in
about the
certain
problem.
areas to where they're trying to start
Notify
off at,
Mrs.
even
Williams
if you
of your
don't see it. You
organization's
know what I'm saying?
process for filing a complaint.
But if they do
Tell
say
Mrs. Williams
on
that
a
next
certain
time the
thing of
food will
what
be
they're trying to get
warmer
to,
and
then it's
record
just like
Mrs.
you putting
Williams'
money into a
confrontational
tuition that
behavior
your
in her
daughter is trying to
resident
get
file.
into college. You know what I'm
Tell
saying?
Mrs. Williams that
So
she is
off
being
top,
too
that's,
difficult and
I
give an
put racks
excuse for the
on
cold
my
food.
daughter to get her tuition on Hawaii. She went to Hawaii University because of me. I did a whole semester. A semester in Hawaii University is $3,000, 3,500, and then a plane ticket too. I gave her that, and that wasn't nothing to me. I gave her that like, you're my daughter, and it's hard out here. So if you have a child that's still trying to get to college and you ain't shit, like you ain't got the biggest shit, you know what I'm saying? Living in a room and shit like that, but you know how to put your money, because you're trying to focus on, what if your daughter ever asks me for something? It's not like I say, oh, can I get you this? Can I do that for you? Can I da 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 da? No, because you already know what type of money I'm making. If I'm making money just like is cha-chinging in my shit just like that, then she already know that I'm gonna be like, oh, don't worry about that. But she's a very quiet person, so she don't talk too much. So I have to be the type of person that, to be like, what's going, like, it's like, you, how do you say, how you do checkups with people? You gotta do your daily, like, but then it's like, it'll take some time. I'll ask my mom, oh, what is she doing now? Like, is she getting into something. She trying to do some type of vocational or training on something else or whatever. She want to do something on the side. I gotta ask my mom because my daughter don't talk too much. She's very just like closed mouth, want to keep all the shit to herself, kind of like me, if how I am now. But then I do explain to you guys because this is a YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just how it is. But then she left out of there. She left out of Hawaii University and just took her little transcripts, finished her subjects over there, and just trying to continue on something over here in the United States. But she loved Hawaii though. Hold on, let me see something.
Review. Mrs. Williams is a resident of Sunriver's assisted living community where you work. This evening you notice that she hardly touched any of her food. When you ask her about it, she says, "Of course I didn't. It's as cold as ice. It's like that every night. In fact, I would like to file a complaint about that."
She said it was cold. So what you got to do is,
What should you do? Tell Mrs. Williams you will talk with Dietary Services about the problem.
mm,
Notify Mrs. Williams of your organization's process for filing a complaint.
mm,
Tell Mrs. Williams that next time the food will be warmer and record Mrs. Williams' confrontational behavior in her
no,
resident
it's
file.
B.
Tell Mrs. Williams that she is being too difficult and give an
No.
excuse for the cold
So
food.
you guys, I'm gonna go start continuing this one. I do this until 4 p.m. and hopefully I will get back to maybe something later on tonight. If I don't, then it's just me trying to continue to being comfortable um in my own
Your
setting.
actions support Mrs. Williams' right. Summary.
And you guys have
Residents
a
in
blessed
assisted living
Friday. You
communities
guys
have
have a
many
good
rights.
weekend.
Every day, you act to protect
Yeah,
those rights.
so if
Remember,
there's something that
you and
comes
your
up or anything like
organization
that,
must
I'll be
not
back on
interfere with
my
residents
YouTube.
as they exercise their
Thank you
rights.
guys.
Instead,